everyone, my name is Zara, and today we're going to be diving into a review and synopsis of Worldlines by Adam Guest. Before we dive into my opinions on the novel, let's take a look at our book. Our book is based on the concept of the multiverse and the theory of many worlds. This theory is built upon the idea that for every event, there are an infinite number of new worldlines created based on the multiple different outcomes that event could create. Gary Jackson, the leading man of the story, grapples with the discovery of many worlds as he tries to make sense of a murder mystery involving himself and his girlfriend Michelle Payton brewing across the different world lines. With the help of his best friend Sunita O'Brien and his physics professor at uni, Professor Leighton Buzzard, Gary tries to unravel the mysteries of the multiverse. Alright, now that we've gotten a look at our book, let's dive into some of my opinions, starting with the positive aspects. Number 1, subject matter. As a Rick and Morty fan, I love the multiverse and the theory of multiple infinite me's running around all over in alternate dimensions, just having made slightly different decisions than me. I think that this book did a wonderful job of utilizing that theory to a really entertaining advantage. From exploring a murder mystery and a million different versions of Gary, our main character, all revolving around a single incident with a lorry in his school days, the author does a commendable job of keeping the plot interesting. Number 2, writing. So in this book, we get to see different Garys from different dimensions and alternate universes. And I found it really commendable that I could tell the difference between the different Garys. They're all the same person. They just have slight differences in their lives that have changed their personalities. And when I'm reading, I was able to differentiate between the personalities and the writing styles of the different Garys. And that is really hard to do. And for the author to be able to really create different people out of this book, I found that really admirable. And also, I loved how this book really brought emotions out of me. I was honestly angry, hateful, pitying, all the different parts of the book depending on the plot events. This book made me want to throw it against the wall sometimes just because I was that mad at the characters. And that is also really hard to do. So the writing was phenomenal in that it evoked emotion and was able to differentiate between the different characters. I could tell who was who. Number 3, plot. I loved how this book was able to stay consistent with the theory of the multiverse and keep an interesting sequence of events going throughout the plot. There were a lot of strings in the story and a lot of them were complicated, and it was really nice how the author was able to tie them all together into one easy to follow story. Now for my not so favorite parts. While it was honestly hard for me to find something that I didn't really like about this book, I guess I will start with number 1, dialogue. I found that the novel was a little bit too reliant on character dialogue, and a lot of the pages were just filled with conversations that I feel might have been able to be easier summed up in paragraphs or maybe more vivid descriptions. Personally, I like to read descriptions and thoughts of the characters more than dialogue, but this is just a different type of writing style that I haven't seen that much before, and it wasn't that impactful on my enjoyment of the book. I did like it. I might have preferred a little more insight to readers' emotions and thoughts and descriptions of the environments around them rather than more dialogue. Overall, I would definitely rate the story with a 4 out of 4 stars. It kept my interest and I kept thinking about it for days after I finished it because the implications of the multiverse are infinite, much like itself. I kept imagining the book's implications on my own life and it kept me really interested, and it's one of those books that'll stay with you for a little while. I recommend Worldlines to anybody who loves sci-fi and is a fan of Rick and Morty like myself. Due to some profanity, I don't think that this book is suitable for children, but teens and young adults and adults, you guys should definitely go for it. It is a must read and definitely a recommendation from me. There were some loose ends at the end of the book, so I look forward to reading the sequel and finding out what is going on with Gary now. Thanks for listening, guys. Comment your thoughts on the multiverse theory. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at BookmarkByZ. Thanks, and I'll see you next Friday.